Hello, fellow nerds! I am Monica, and I am a mighty warrior. Alright, welcome to another episode of Hopelessly Nerdy. For this week's episode, D&D goes pop culture. Yeah, I'm a bit of a nerd. I love a bad pun and jokes and such. But I digress. This week, we are discussing finding your inner warrior, or rogue, or mage, or wizard, or so on and so forth. In the last few months, high fantasy has come back in a big way, like beyond what the Lord of the Rings movies did in the early 2000s. I mean, we now have a Disney Pixar movie called Onward, which is, I love it. And this is one of those instances where I do try to separate the artist from the art, because I am not much of a Chris Pratt fan anymore. Because he is not exactly very LGBT friendly. He goes to a very anti-LGBT church and has never said anything in response to being opposite of those views. So until we get any kind of terms concerning that, I'm just gonna say, hit the no button on that one. But I love the movie Onward. I really do, because it's so much Dungeons and Dragons, Magic the Gathering, World of Warcraft, every fantasy thing you've ever wanted to see, it's going on. I mean, they go to pay the toll on the highway and it's a troll, and it's the underbridge toll. I mean, come on. Yeah, that's from kids' stories, fairy tales, and stuff like that, but it's still a fantasy element. There is so much fantasy in all of that, and you can kind of see it as you watch along. There are huge towering beanstalks, as if there had been magic beans thrown somewhere. There is the bottomless pit that Ian casts the bridge spell and is able to walk across. There's so much going on with this movie. It's really brilliant. There was a horrible thing about, of course, the art on Guinevere being basically poached from an artist. That's really, really horrible. Hopefully the artist got justice for that situation. But basically what I've seen ever since is just this basic growth of D&D coming to the forefront, being this pop culture thing. There are plethora of podcasts strictly dedicated to Dungeons and Dragons. Ask anybody, even your friends. You've probably got somebody in your friends group who has heard of Critical Role and or watched it. Not to mention all the cool pop culture Easter eggs that were going on in the movie itself. There's, of course, the gelatinous cube, which is actually a bad guy in one of the Dungeons and Dragons manuals. It is a thing that exists. It's crazy. There's using the actual book for Quests of Yore as a guidebook. You get to see some of the pages as they're going through, and you can see all of the stats that are listed: Constitution, Wisdom, Intelligence, Defense, and Strength. It's brilliant. There's also different kind of pop culture references. One of the eateries is called Sword and the Scone, which is a reference, of course, to the Sword and the Stone. There's a place called Burgershire, and if you pay attention on the marquee for Burgershire, it says, now serving second breakfast. At the gas station, there's different kinds of things you can see there. There is Mountain Doom, which is a reference, of course, to Mount Doom. There is Satorade, which is Gatorade, inspired by satyrs, I guess. And of course, if you're paying attention to the signs outside, on the outside of the building, there is something listed for Longbottom, which of course is a name from the Harry Potter. And from what the Easter egg section of IMDb said, it is also a name featured in Lord of the Rings as well. The audio system in Guinevere is a siren which is a mythical Greek creature, and the company that makes it is Lore, or Lor, which is very short approximation of Lord of the Rings. So you've got all these cool kind of things going on. Of course, then you have things like the Marvel Cinematic Universe blowing up, and the fact that D&D is as open world as it is, that you could make what is called a homebrew version of D&D where you're playing in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Hey, it's really, really cool what you can and cannot do with D&D. Plus, the coolest thing I think about Onward is that there was, at the end credits, thank yous and shoutouts to Wizards of the Coast, who created Dungeons and Dragons and Magic the Gathering for use of the gelatinous cube and the Beholder. So, just a lot of awesome, interesting things going on in a Disney movie. And you cannot deny that Disney is the peak epitome of prevalent pop culture. It is kind of sad that the movie didn't fully get justice as it came out right as COVID was hitting and movie theaters started shutting down, but c'est la vie, it is what it is. It is still one of the top 10 to 15 movies of 2020, so that's definitely saying something. I think it ranked number 9 overall. So that is definitely saying something. What stands out to me the most is that while the boys are on this quest to bring back their father to find a Phoenix gem, no spoilers in that is what the story is about, their mother is essentially on a similar quest, their mother, Laurel Lightfoot, and her quest is to make sure her boys are safe. We see her in the beginning of the movie watching a workout video with a workout Cyclops, and you basically see her become emboldened and kind of embrace the warrior lifestyle as well. So it's not just Ian and Barley that change over the course of the movie, their mother changes as well too, as does her wonderful quest buddy, the Manticore, who has lost who she used to be, and she eventually ends up coming back into her own as the brave and fearless adventurer. And the Manticore's Tavern goes from being this possibly chain restaurant into being not exactly what it used to be, but close enough to it in a safe way that you get this sense of magic coming back. And, of course, there are some spoilers in what I just said. My apologies if you have not seen the movie. If you have Disney Plus and you have the time, definitely check out Onward. What I kind of wanted to focus on that kind of really just kind of smacked me in the face, though, was Laurel Lightfoot's workout videos, because I was scrolling TikTok. My sister is very much into TikTok. It kind of helps with her anxiety, keeps her focused on that instead of the dark side of her brain. And hey, all props to you. Those of you that have anxiety, whatever helps you get through it, by all means, do what you gotta do. So, because I get a lot of videos from her, I get this curated TikTok for you page, basically. That's pretty much the decent side of TikTok for the most part. I'm excited about that. I know a lot of people complain about it, but there is a good side there. I mean, it's like the internet or Twitter. It's a neutral platform. It just depends on what you're looking at or what you're looking for. You can find the good just as well as you can be made to see the dark. Okay? Just change your perspective. Search for the things that make you happy and you won't have to worry about it. But, don't just blast yourself with only things you want to see. You should definitely branch out and everything. But that's neither here nor there, and an entirely different topic. So as I was looking, sorry for the tangent. So as I was looking through my For You page on TikTok, I've also found a lot of different creators and crafters. There is a blacksmith or two that I follow. I also follow Quincy's Tavern, the Rosewood Inn, which is wonderful. I love those two creators. They're amazing. They do beautiful, beautiful work. More than not, I have run into a couple of posts from them that have made me tear up. So definitely worth taking those into consideration. But most recently, I was flipping through and I found a video where someone was talking about there is a need for fantasy workouts, fantasy workout videos, fantasy gyms, the kind of thing that would get you nerd fit. And then I realized it was stitched with an account that I now follow called Buff Barbarian Babe. And she does barbarian workouts. And holy cow, just the strength that I witnessed, the power. She has earned her confidence far and beyond. She is amazing. And in this video that she's stitched, she talks about other creators that do nerd workouts and how to find them. And if you're interested, it is a hashtag on TikTok called Nerd Gym. And I have been scrolling through it and finding all these different workouts. There's stuff for archery training if you want to be a hunter class. If you want to work out towards your specific World of Warcraft class, Dungeons and Dragons class, there are even people doing Marvel-based workouts as well. So you will be surprised by scrolling through this. I've actually found a creator who I'm following her now as well, who does Valkyrie-based workouts. What? For training to be a Valkyrie? How awesome is that? There's also another one who's doing a warrior Valkyrie workout playlist as well. It's just incredible. And if you're interested in the woman who does the Valkyrie training, her tag is Books and Barbells. It's Books and D Barbells. So definitely worth checking out these tags. You will be so surprised by what you can find. I've thought about it being a thing, and it should have been a thing. I didn't realize it actually was a thing. There are people who do mythology-based, and there are people who do historically-based. Someone on here has Greco-Roman warrior workouts. You name it, you can find it. And it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. And I have felt so inspired by this, so just intrigued by all of it, that I have decided I am going to kind of challenge myself. I've been meaning to start moving more and working on losing weight. I am a plus size person. And in order to do this, I have decided that in the spirit of Laurel Lightfoot, I have adopted the mantra, I am a mighty warrior, over the last couple of days. And let me tell you, just 2 days of getting up in the morning, looking in the mirror and saying, I am a mighty warrior. It's cheesy as all get out, I know. But dang, if my confidence hasn't gone through the roof in 2 days just by saying those 4 words. It's wild to think, to put that mindset in my head, because I don't have the kind of anxiety my sister does, but I do suffer from negative thoughts on a regular basis. And the fact that I now, over the last 2 days, have been telling myself I am a mighty warrior, it's incredible. It is amazing. And I love the confidence boost that I get from that I have never had before. And it is so wonderful. So even if you're listening to this, even if you never, ever, ever pick up on doing any kind of workout like this, I challenge you to at least for a week. I know it sounds cheesy, but just for a week. When you get up in the morning, the only thing you have to do, just get up in the morning, look at yourself in the mirror after you've done your morning routine, whatever. Just look at yourself for a little bit and say, I am a mighty warrior. Just once a day. You don't even have to do it more than that. Just once a day. And tell me that doesn't boost your confidence. At least a little bit. Because I am buzzing on it a little bit. And I've only been doing this for a couple of days. The other part of this challenge, and yes, I'm getting a little sniffly. I got a little bit emotional over that. Emotions are okay. Warriors can be emotional. It's not a problem. Accept that and you'll be good. All right? Just because you have emotions doesn't mean you're not a warrior. All right? It goes hand in hand. It happens. But yes, the other part of what I'm wanting to challenge myself to do is to move more, to start getting out and moving more. Now, normally I just walk with some video game music in the background. I do video game music for a lot of stuff. I listen to it while I wash the dishes. Mostly it's Pokemon video game music remix, or Legend of Zelda stuff. But there's some other stuff in there too. I listen to a lot of Game Chops on Spotify, so if you're interested in any of that, that's definitely worth looking into. Good stuff going on there. But for me personally, I want to up this. I don't want to just walk. I think I want to get started on my warrior training, figure out what class I want to be, and find one of these creators and start doing these workouts in conjunction with just walking more in general and cutting back on snacking and just see what happens. I think it'll be awesome. And that's just what I'm looking forward to, what I'm going to challenge myself to do. And I think in order to kind of keep me on the up and up with this, that I'm going to try and do maybe a once every other week or so kind of update. I had thought about possibly doing it as a once a week update, but we'll see what happens. So yeah, that's what I'm going to try and start doing. And that's just me on personal. For you all, I'm trying to be more inclusive in my language. I am horrible about using guys as a gender neutral term, despite the fact that it's not. I will get working on that and fix that. But for you all, definitely try this challenge. This little challenge of just looking in the mirror once a day and saying, I am a mighty warrior. I hope that it will bring you the confidence boost that it's been giving to me so far. And that's pretty much going to do it for this episode. These first few episodes, I think. I don't know. I'm trying to get it to 30 minutes, but I think I'm going to keep it to around 20. I think that works pretty well for this format. And I hope you all enjoyed it. If you're interested in questions, comments, you have something you want me to talk about on the show, by all means, send me a message. My email is anerdblog@gmail.com. And of course, you can message me on Twitter. My handle is Anthissa21. And I will make sure to see that and let you know all about it and see if I can work whatever your questions or comments were into the show in some way. And I'm always up for new topics to discuss. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have a wonderful time of day it is, wherever you're at. I'll see you next week.